Hello guys, my name is Donnie and welcome back to another episode of building a motorhome from scratch. And guys, in this episode I hope to make a lot of leeway once again in finishing off the outside of this motorhome so we can start on the inside. So let me jump straight into it and I'll show you exactly what I plan on doing in this video, because there's going to be a lot happening. Okay guys, so in the last episode I finished up this front end, or finished it up and put everything in its position, but that will probably change, or at least I'm going to do final fitment at a later stage. But in this video I really want to start working on what's going to become the side panel for the front end, so that I can start fitting stuff like the electric windows and so on. But there are so many things that needs to happen before I can do that, and that's what I'm going to focus on in this video. Because guys, I need to finish up, for me to fit this side panel, those are the panels I'm going to be using. It is a lightweight honeycomb fiberglass panel that I had specifically made to size. It's going to fit on the side, and I'm going to trim it off on and cut in the opening where the electric windows are going to go and so on. And this motorhome's only going to have one door. The door is going to be sitting over here, and you're going to access it from this side to go to the front or to the rear. There's not going to be any doors in the front, only one door. But for me to fit that panel, or I can only, after I fitted this panel, fit the bumper and the bonnet finally and make sure that everything fits. So I basically need to put more pieces to this puzzle before I can put everything in its final position. But for me to fit this fiberglass sides, I need to first finish up, or put a aluminium upright over there that looks, it's going to be this upright over here if you look at the sketch, because I cannot fit the fiberglass and then weld the upright into position afterwards. I'm going to melt the fiberglass, and for me to fit this upright I'm going to have to finish up the whole frame to the back, because otherwise I won't be able to weld the top part over there, and it cannot hang in the air without being supported at the back. So I'm going to basically have to finish up the whole aluminium frame, or all the welding, before I can fit that, and only after I've done that I can fit the sides. But before I do that, so the first thing is I've got another issue that I needed to resolve, and that is that my ceiling in my workshop's clearance is a little bit too low. So I've got one of two options. I can either lift the roof, which is not an option really, or secondly I can drop the motorhome down, and I need to still have it mobile. So I cannot simply remove the wheels, because I need to still be able to get it out of the workshop after I've finished making it. So it needs to be a rolling chassis. So what I've decided I'm going to do now is I'm going to just loosen those leaf springs at the back and drop this whole motorhome so that it'll lay on its axle in the front, and also loosen this torsion bar on the front so that it'll lay on its belly as low as it possibly can. And I think that's going to gain me the extra couple of inches that I need to finish up making this frame. So let me do that quickly, and then we can move to making or fitting these side panels. Okay guys, time for an update. As you saw in the last couple of minutes, I have now dropped this motorhome down as low as it possibly can go, and then I started working on the aluminium frame so that I can do these uprights and then do the posts and everything, so that I could finish the aluminium work and then start working on the front. But in the meantime, a couple of things have happened. Number one is that I still am not very happy with the height that I have gained. I still feel like I need just this much extra height so that I can make my motorhome to the height that I preferred and not have to be limited by the height of my workshop. So the only thing that is left for me to do would be to remove these wheels completely and drop the motorhome down to its belly. But like I said, it needs to be mobile, so that when I'm done with everything, I still need to be able to get it out from underneath my shed so that I could put those wheels back. So I would have probably had to make a trolley or something like that for it to lay on and then be able to move it as I deemed necessary. But then I came up with another plan, and that is that if I remove those wheels and tires, I could theoretically install a set of second-hand rims only, and then have this motorhome just lay on these rims without tires, and that's going to gain me the height that I really need to build this motorhome to where I want it to be. And also it'll still be mobile, and I'll be able to start it and drive it forward and backward. Even though it's only on the rims, it's going to be a lot less hassle than having to make a trolley and then push everything around on the trolley. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take these wheels off, put those rims on there, and I think that I'm going to gain the height that I need. Then the second thing that has come up is that my dad and I have been talking and designing as we go along with this motorhome, so that we could try and fulfill the whole wish list of everything that we want for this motorhome. And one of the things that has come up is that my dad is an avid cyclist, and we would really like to have a garage in this motorhome where we could just park 2 bicycles in there and lock them up and keep them safe whilst we're driving and so on. And that is something that was not considered in the original design of this motorhome. So I've now gone and made a couple of redesigns so that I could accommodate the bicycles in the motorhome and put a garage in there, and you can even use it for anything else other than bicycles, storage or so on. And I have come up with a couple of designs, and I think that we have decided on something that's going to work. But what I'm going to do after I've now installed these wheels is I'm going to take it to the computer, and I'm going to show you what the old design looks like and how we're going to change it to accommodate the garages that I put in there. And I think that it is a better design at the end of the day, and I'm very excited about it. But it is going to mean that I'm going to have to make some changes at the back, but that's not a problem because the end product is going to be absolutely awesome. So let me do that and I'll show you what's happening on the computer. Alrighty guys, now we're in business. I've now put these old rims where the tires and wheels were on the motorhome, and it is as low as it can possibly go without it rubbing its belly on the floor. So that is awesome, and I now have all the room that I'm ever going to need to make the box for this motorhome, which is great. One thing that I didn't realize, it didn't cross my mind quite frankly, is that these rims are 15-inch where the ones that came off the motorhome are 16, so the front calipers were rubbing when I put those rims in the right way around, but I just swapped them around so they're sticking out a little bit further. But that's not a problem, because I'm never gonna actually drive around with this motorhome in this configuration, but at least it is mobile, so nothing is rubbing, and I've got all the room that I'm ever gonna need. So let me go wash up quickly, and then I'm gonna show you on the PC what my plans are and how I'm gonna be making some changes there at the back, and then we can start working on building this frame so we can get this motorhome done. Okay guys, so welcome to the inside of my computer. This is the first time I attempt doing something like this, so let's just see how it goes. Like I said, I'm going to be making some changes to the motorhome, and I just thought that I would just give you guys a lowdown or a close-up of what I had planned and the changes that I'm going to be making to the motorhome. So as you guys can see, I use SketchUp for my designing and prototyping and so on, and I am a novice at using this, and I've only been using it now for not so long, but it has helped me a lot with designing and making sure that everything works and fits. And I've also, as I was designing on SketchUp, did see a lot of mistakes and stuff like that that I could fix without making the mistake in real time. So this is what the motorhome looks like at the moment. I've made everything to size, and I also did design all of the parts separately so that you can build the motorhome the same way as I am building it in real life. So basically it started off with the chassis, and then I started working on stuff like installing the frame and designing the frame, and then working from there. So I basically designed everything on the computer, and now I can build it in real life. But this is basically what the motorhome looks like at the moment. Just so that you guys can understand what my plan is, this is going to be the only entrance. So there's going to be one entrance over there, and you're going to climb in, and you're going to go to the front, to the cockpit, and you're going to be driving. You're going to have one driver's seat in front and two passenger seats, and then if you walk towards the back, you're going to have the seating position there. Or this was my first design, one of my first designs, but I'm still open for changes and so on. But this was just the idea. Have a space where you can sit down, have your kitchenette and everything, refrigerator and so on, and a nice bathroom and your bedroom at the back. Now the magic, guys, is that these side panels, I've designed them in such a way that they can slide out. So these are slide out side panels on both sides, and they're going to slide out, making the inside of this motorhome much larger. So this is going to be what it looks like when it is open. And guys, the things that was very important for me on this design is that you can use the motorhome both in an enclosed or an opened configuration. It just makes it much more roomy when it is open, but you can still, whilst everything was closed, be able to get to the bathroom and the bedroom and so on without any hassles. Now guys, this was the previous design, or the first design, and like I said, we needed to make some changes because as it goes with something like this, it evolves all of the time as you're working on the motorhome, and as you're working on your design, there's a lot of evolution taking place. So the bathroom changes, and the kitchen changes, and the bedroom and everything changes. But these are the things that we can change as we go along. But at least the main structure must be correct so that we can build from there on and build a motorhome from that. Now the big thing, the big change that has happened in the meantime is that we really want a garage in this motorhome, so we can put the bicycles in there and close them up, lock them up, and have them safe, and also use the garage for anything else if necessary. We are limited to how far we can go backwards on this motorhome. According to law, the overhang, the rear overhang, that's now the overhang from the rear axle towards the back, can only be a maximum of 60% of what the wheelbase is on this motorhome. So if the wheelbase is say 4 meters, and then the overhang can only be 2.4 meters. If it goes over that, it's going to be illegal and I won't be able to register the motorhome. So like I said, we really want to put a garage in this motorhome. As you can see, at the moment there is no room for that. So then I had to start designing again and make some changes. So what I went ahead and done now, guys, is I have made a new set of drawings, just very rudimental, and I made the dimensions, or I took the dimensions of a box that I'm going to need for a garage that can fit 2 bicycles, and I tried to figure out where I would fit that box in the motorhome. And there were many pros and cons to all of these designs, but the big thing that I was not happy with is that the bed would have to be elevated in most of these designs, and that brings a whole set of other challenges to the table. So guys, out of all of these designs, we decided at the end of the day that this would be the last design, or the design that we prefer. Like I said, this one is still very rudimental. I'm gonna polish it up a little bit, but I just basically cut and pasted all of my hacks together to come up with this design. So we've got the garage is going to sit here at the back, so that piece of chassis extension over there won't be there. This was of the previous design, so that's going to be open, and now my slide outs are basically moving forward 850 millimeters, as you can see on this design. And I'm going to have the box here at the back, and it can also then serve as a cupboard on the inside of the bedroom. And apart from that, everything's going to be very much the same as my original design. Like I said, we're still going to work on the bathroom and the kitchen and so on, and make the design as we go along. But this is the big change that I'm going to be making to the motorhome. Like I said, that rear section that I started welding now, I need to cut it off again and then drop that rear piece over there, because we need to make this box as low as possible so that on the inside it'll be a suitable height for a vanity for the passengers. But guys, that's going to be it. The other thing that I'm going to do, the other change that I'm going to make, and that is why it was so important for me to drop the motorhome down as far as possible, is I'm going to have this double enforced beams on top of the motorhome where the slide outs are going to go, which is going to add a whole lot of strength, because these slide outs are very long. And also we really want to be able to go on top of the motorhome on the roof and maybe have a sundowner there, so that's going to have to be very, very strong. So that's going to be it for this video, and let me finish these designs and make sure everything works, and then I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.